Going to be making a dessert today. Now what we're going to be making is bread and butter pudding. Now with a little bit of a twist, because we're actually going to be using hot cross buns instead of bread. So really it's kind of hot cross bun pudding. Now first of all, I just want to quickly run you through the ingredients we're going to be using. Now I've got some muscovado sugar, 100 grams of muscovado sugar, a couple of tablespoons of caster sugar, that's just for sprinkling on at the end so it doesn't matter too much. Then we've got some milk. I'm going to use half a pint of milk, which is roughly 300 ml. The same amount of single cream. I'm going to use the whole tub, 300 ml of that. It doesn't matter if it's extra thick or just normal single cream. Then we've got 6 hot cross buns. Going to slice those in half. Obviously, if you haven't got hot cross buns, you can use normal sort of thick slices of bread, and you can just add some sultanas and raisins in there if you want. Then we've got some cinnamon powder, 1 teaspoon of that, and again 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, that's like a liquid, 50 grams of butter and 4 eggs. So let's get it all prepared and chopped up, ready to go, and get on with the cooking. So first of all, I'm just going to start getting it all prepared. Now I'm going to start off with the hot cross buns, going to slice them in half, put some butter on there, and also the dish that we're going to use in the oven, I'm going to put butter around the inside of the dish and just lay the hot cross buns in there, and that's it. So we'll start with doing that first. So first of all, I've got my dish there, and I've got a little bit of butter on a bit of the actual sort of butter packaging. So just wipe this round very quickly really, just so it doesn't all stick. Get it in the corners and stuff. That'll do. There you go. So that's ready to go. So I'm now going to cut hot cross buns and butter those up as well. So now I've got my dish all buttered up. Again, I've done the same with the hot cross buns. I've cut them in half and buttered them on both sides. So we can then just literally lay these out. Make sure they kind of overlap a little bit. And we can always move them around after, just to make them all fit. So just put them in like so. Might have to squeeze these ones in a little bit. So we'll just try and squeeze these in a little bit. That's it. That's all ready. Simple as that. So now we've got the hot cross buns all buttered up in the pan, all ready to go. I'm going to move that aside, and what I'm going to do is get a little saucepan, and we're just going to mix the milk, the cream, the vanilla extract, and a little bit of the cinnamon powder, and just very gently bring it to the boil. So firstly, I'm just going to put in about 300 ml, half a pint, that'll do. And I'm going to put the single cream in there, and again, there's the same quantity of single cream, just put that in, 300 ml. Then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of the cinnamon powder. Then I've got 1 teaspoon of the vanilla extract. So now we've got it all in the pan, I'm just going to put that on the hob and very gently bring it to a boil. Give it a little stir. Once it's come to the boil, take it off the heat and just start to let it cool down a little bit. So I'm just going to put the pan on the hob, switch it on, and give it a stir and just bring it up to a sort of boil. Once you get it to a boil, switch it off and let it cool down. We'll just give that a quick stir up. Get it all nicely mixed. I say, just bring that to a boil. Once it's come to a boil, switch it off. I've just left mine and it's just come to the boil. So I'm going to switch that off now and let it cool down. So we'll switch the gas off. Just let it cool right down, and then we're going to mix this with the eggs and the sugar later on. Now the next thing we're going to get on with is actually mixing up the 4 eggs with the sort of muscovado sugar, and we're going to beat that and make it a nice sort of frothy mix. Once this has cooled down, we're going to add that into the egg mixture. So I've got myself a bowl, and what I'm going to do is just crack up 4 eggs. Try and make sure you don't get any shell in the actual mix. And again, that's the 4th egg there. So now I've got my 4 eggs in the bowl. I'm just going to pour in all of that muscovado sugar, and I'm just going to whisk this up, hand whisk it, and we're actually going to make it so it's nice and frothy. So again, just get it in there and just whisk it around really until you get it all nice and frothy, and then we can actually add in that mixture of sort of milk and cream that we've just sort of brought to the boil and let it cool down. So whisk this until you get all nice and frothy. So I've been whisking mine for about a minute. I think we've probably got nice and frothy now, so let's just have a look. Look at that. Now what I'm going to do next is to add that sort of milky creamy mixture that's now cooled down slightly. We're going to add it, whisk it up, mix it all together. So again, I'll just keep whisking as I go. Just add a little bit in, a bit at a time. There you go. That's all mixed up, ready to go. So I'm now just going to move that bowl out of the way and just bring this one back, because we're going to pour all that mixture all over it and just let it sit there for sort of 5 or 10 minutes to sort of start soaking it all up. So just going to literally just pour this all over. It's starting to smell really nice already. Whoa. Just try and get it all covered. And we're just going to leave that, I'd say, for a good 5 or so minutes, just to let it all start to soak up all those flavours. Just while it's sitting there, I'm just going to sprinkle on the other ½ teaspoon of cinnamon powder. So we added some in the mixture, and we're just putting a little bit on top. There you go. So now we've got this hot cross bun pudding all prepared, all the liquids in there, and it's been soaking for about 5 minutes or so. What we're going to do is to put it into a preheated oven for about 30 minutes until it's all kind of nicely set, and it'll be delicious. So I'm just going to put my mixture into a preheated oven, so let's just be careful with that. Now I'm actually going to put it in 160 degrees, 325 Fahrenheit, gas mark 3, as I say, roughly for about 30 minutes until it's just sort of set. At the moment it's quite liquidy and the sort of bits are floating, so leave it for about half an hour. If it takes a little bit longer, that's fine. Just, you know, check it in sort of about half an hour's time. Now, I've been cooking mine for exactly half an hour actually, so let's just pull it out so you can see it. Look at that, looks delicious. Nice and sort of brown on top. Let's just check the sides of it just to see if it's set. Yeah, that's set. That's great. I'm going to pull that out, and then we're going to sprinkle a little bit of sugar and serve it up and taste it. So I've just brought mine from out the oven. Now I'm going to use a bit of sort of caster sugar and just very gently sprinkle that over. Try and do it when it's warm. That's it. I mean, obviously do all this sort of stuff to taste with all the sugar stuff. There you go. Lovely jubbly. So I'm now just going to serve it up. So I'm just going to put that aside, get a bowl, and we're going to try some. So I'm just going to get my spoon, see if I can dig some out. Again, get a little bit of that bit at the bottom there. Beautiful. Smells really nice. So let's just try a little bit of that. So we're just going to try a little bit. Look at that. Looks yummy. Oh, lovely. That's really delicious. And you've got all the currants and sultanas in hot cross buns, the cinnamon flavour. It's really nice. Bit of vanilla coming through. Can't go wrong. Very simple. Great one for Easter. And as I say, you don't have to use hot cross buns. If you want, you can just use slices of bread, add your sultanas, your raisins, and it's just delicious. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.